Zhong Yuan was about to go crazy. He was slapped twice by a piece of trash. In his anger, he didn't even think. What on earth could a piece of trash at the second level of body refining be able to slap him twice? He shouted loudly and pounced on Ling Han. Right now, he only had one thought, which was to ruthlessly beat this piece of trash up. He punched out. The power was overwhelming, and there was a sound of wind. Ling Han was very calm. In his previous life, he could just snap his fingers and deal with 10,000 Zhong Yuan. But now he was only at the second level of body refining. It was a bit troublesome. But it was just a small bit of trouble, after all. The main body of this body was once a heavenly human realm expert. His vision was still there. As long as Zhong Yuan raised his hand and moved his foot slightly, Ling Han could immediately infer where this punch would hit, where his footsteps would go. Therefore, in the instant Zhong Yuan's punch landed, Ling Han had already reacted. Phut, this punch landed. Zhong Yuan couldn't help but reveal a terrifying grin. He felt that if this punch landed, it would instantly make Ling Han lose his ability to resist. He could only let him hit. Hit it. Huh. Zhong Yuan revealed a look of surprise, because this punch looked like it was hitting Ling Han's face. But in reality, it was slightly off. Ling Han took a step back, just right to avoid this punch. Not a single part left, not a single inch missing. It was as if using a ruler to measure it. Just right in front of Ling Han's nose tip. It must be the right timing, Zhong Yuan said in his heart. At this moment, Ling Han slapped again. Bang! A clear sound rang out. Zhong Yuan was slapped again. Damn it! Zhong Yuan spat out a few mouthfuls of saliva, shouted loudly, then he swung his fist to hit Ling Han again. Ling Han seemed to move at the same time. His body slightly leaned back, shouting. Zhong Yuan's punch missed again. He waved his hand. His right foot followed the momentum to kick out. Poof! Kicked Zhong Yuan between the legs. Raw. Even if it was the fourth level of body refining, so what? Still unable to cultivate the iron egg technique. Receiving this kick, Zhong Yuan knelt on the ground, both hands holding his crotch. Cold sweat pouring down his face. You're so sinister. Zhong Yuan spat out, his face twisted to the point of being inhuman. Bang! Ling Han slapped him again. Zhong Yuan spat out several broken teeth. Ling Han naturally wouldn't agree, saying, "A dog is a dog. It really can't grow ivory." Zhong Yuan was furious. He knelt on the ground again, being slapped by a second-level body refining. How humiliating was this? He wanted to fight back, but that kick had already shattered his ability to resist. The slightest movement would cause a life-threatening pain. But absolutely cannot let Ling Han ruin Ling Zhongquan's good thing. Otherwise, he will not complete the mission. With Ling Zhongquan's personality, he absolutely cannot live. Han. Young Master Han, listen to me. You cannot leave this place. In fact, you have been poisoned. Leaving this room will cause death. He is quick-witted. No matter what, he must keep Ling Han here. Ling Han could not help but laugh. This kind of clumsy performance could fool him? Ling Han raised his foot and kicked Zhong Yuan away. Now he cannot waste time with the hunting dog. He must definitely stop Ling Zhongquan's scheme. Otherwise his father will risk his life to become someone else's wedding dress. As for Zhong Yuan, Ling Han naturally will not take this kind of petty character in his heart. On the contrary, Ling Zhongquan, as long as he sees him appear, he will naturally deal with Zhong Yuan. There is no need to dirty his hands. Don't go. Don't go. Zhong Yuan begged with a cry coming from behind. He seemed to have seen his own miserable end. Self-inflicted sins cannot be lived, not worthy of sympathy. Ling Han walked quickly. A few minutes later, he arrived at a living room. Before entering, he heard an old and resounding voice coming from inside. Miss Liu, please, please. The living room had two inner and outer gates. The inner gate connected to the inner courtyard. The outer gate led to the main gate, through the curtains, only to see a group of 5 people walking in, 4 men and 1 woman. Except for that girl, the 4 men Ling Han knew were all Ling family clansmen. Among them the old man around 60 was the Grand Deacon Ling Zhongquan. The other 3, 2 were middle-aged around 40. All were Ling Zhongquan's sons. And the last was a young man, slightly older than Ling Han by a year or 2, was Ling Zhongquan's eldest son. Ling Muyan. Ling Han looked back at the only woman, even with his previous life's heavenly human realm vision. His eyes were shining. This girl was really beautiful. Eyes like autumn water, skin as white as snow, a face that could make birds fall and fish roll. She was also about 17 or 18 years old, but already had the demeanor of a disaster to a nation and its people. It was just that her expression was too cold, as if she was an iceberg, repelling anyone who approached her. This young woman was naturally someone from Tiger Young Academy. She came at a perfect fit. Huh. Ling Han's pupils slightly enlarged. He discovered something that was even more perfect. The corner of his mouth couldn't help but reveal a smile. The two sides divided the host and guest into seats. A few maids served fragrant tea, respectfully standing by the side of the 5 people. Have the people your Ling family is preparing to send to the academy been thoroughly prepared? Liu Yutong opened her mouth to speak. Her voice was cold and pleasant to the ears, and there was also a trace of disdain. What she hated the most was the behavior of negotiating through the back door. Even though she came under orders, she did not have any good feelings towards that future junior brother. Prepare well, prepare well. Ling Zhongquan immediately said hurriedly, although his age was enough to be the young girl's grandfather. But the two sides' realms were equal. Both were at the gathering Yuan realm. Martial arts do not respect the elders. The strong are respected. Ling Zhongquan even had a feeling that this young girl's cultivation was a little higher than his. He was at the 6th level of gathering Yuan, and the young girl was likely at the 7th level, or even the 8th level. This also made him even more anxious to send his son Zi into the Tiger Young Academy. In a few years, he would definitely be able to surpass Ling Dongxing, helping him regain the position of clan master. Mu Yan, why don't you quickly come and pay your respects to senior sister Liu? The old man turned his head and said to Ling Mu Yan, Yes, Grandpa. Ling Mu Yan was very respectful, clasping his hands and saying to Liu Yutong, Mu Yan greets senior sister Liu. His eyes had a hint of fire, towards that cold and extremely powerful beauty, filled with ambition. He believed that as long as he could spend more time together, he would definitely be able to capture the beauty's heart. Liu Yutong was slightly surprised. She remembered that the person that Ling family had negotiated with was named Ling Han. However, this had nothing to do with her. She was only responsible for leading people back to the academy. If you are well prepared, then let's go, she said coldly. Miss Liu, please stay in our humble house for a few more days. Let us express our intentions. Ling Zhongquan hurriedly said. He wanted to build a relationship with this young lady, so that he could take care of his nephew in the future. No need. Liu Yutong coldly refused, and immediately wanted to turn around and leave. Stop for now. A voice rang out. Ling Han stepped out. The expressions of Ling Zhongquan and the others all changed slightly. No matter how much they looked down on this trash of the Ling family. But right now they were thieves. Being thieves would naturally feel a little guilty. Little Han, aren't you injured? Quickly go back and recuperate. Ling Muyan reacted extremely quickly, stepping to Ling Han's side, reaching out to grab him. He wanted to restrain Ling Han immediately, not giving the other party a chance to open his mouth. He was a 7th level body refining cultivator. His strength was definitely not something Zhong Yuan could compare to.